That's right, Graham. Justin's willing to sell his shares of the ranch to Kate.
Well, knowing Kate as I do, I find that surprising. How much is Justin asking?
$5 million. But Kate doesn't have that kind of money.
$5 million for that ranch? That's outrageous.
Look, I think there's a way World Oil can help Kate out.
No, I can't authorize that, Ron.
You gotta hear me out, Graham.
No, I hate to think of that barracuda getting $5 million of World Oil, especially when he's going to use it as seed money to start his own oil company. Besides, ranch isn't worth that much. I can't justify that. The price is too steep.
Coffee, Mrs. Wheeler.
Oh, Vivi, I have so much to thank you for.
What are you talking about, Miss Wheeler?
If we hadn't had that talk, I'd have never come up with the idea of setting up a foundation in Alex's name.
It's a wonderful way to honor the memory of Mr. Wheeler.
New York. That's where it will have to be. All the big foundations are in New York.
I hate the idea of your leaving Houston.
Things begin, and things come to an end. This part of my life is over, Vivi. Over for good.
One thing you gotta admit, Ashley, we got a great view here.
Yeah, great. Now I can look at World Oil all day long.
I like the view.
Some view.
I enjoy looking at it. Look how it just stretches up into the sky like that. Yeah, we're gonna outstretch them. Our company's gonna get bigger, and our building is gonna outstretch them all.
Come back down to earth, Justin. All we've got is this office. And it's not even finished yet.
Yeah, when it is, it's gonna knock their socks off.
Justin, you're moving too fast. And money's gonna be a big problem.
But you gotta have faith. You gotta dream big and act big and work hard, and then everything is gonna work out fine.
Well, I sure hope you're right. Because the bills are starting to pile up.
Now, darling, you just let me worry about the bills, all right?
Well, I don't really guess I have much choice.
What do you call it?
The garage. I have a doctor's appointment.
Good. About time you had another checkup.
Mr. Robertson, this is Ashley Marshall. Would you get my car ready for me, please? I'll be coming right down.
Hello? Oh, hello, Mr. Robertson. Ashley Marshall called for her car when? I see. Yes, thank you very much.
Texas, starring Beverly McKinsey.
Justin never ceases to amaze me. Taking his own grandmother to the cleaners. Couldn't find his conscience with a magnifying glass.
I know. Justin's one of a kind. He acts like he crawled out from under a rock. But Kate's determined to buy the ranch from Justin. It's her concern about Steve. It outweighs everything right now.
How is the boy?
It's hard to tell. He looks like he's improving, but the doctor says he's on the verge of a nervous breakdown.
I'm sorry to hear that. I'm not surprised. He's been through a terrible emotional experience.
Yeah, Steve's had a real rough time lately. He felt that Ginny didn't love him, didn't even want him. That was all Barrett's fault, and then Barrett's been dragging him halfway across the country.
Well, that's a lot for the boy to handle. I sympathize, Ryan, but business is business. I simply cannot commit $5 million of World Oil to buy that ranch. It's not worth it.
Listen, Grant, this could be a very good deal for World Oil. Now, Kate owns the mineral rights to the ranch. She wants to sell them. It's the only way she can raise the $5 million to buy the ranch from Justin.
She owns the mineral rights?
She sure does.
Well, well. It changes a lot of things, doesn't it? That makes it worth $5 million.
She does have one stipulation, though.
What?
She wants a guarantee that we'll hold off on exploiting the mineral rights for 5 years. That way she can raise Steve on the land for 5 years, and the ranch will be the same as it is now.
We can live with that. Oil's not going anywhere. It'll still be under the ground in 5 years. I'd sure like to get those mineral rights for World Oil. I just get a sour taste in my mouth thinking that the money's going into Justin's pocket.
I do, too.
We'll just have to swallow that sour taste, won't we?
Looks like we will.
All right, call Kate. Tell her I'm ready to sit down and talk.
Great, thanks.
Cannot stand being around Bo. He makes my skin crawl.
I know the feeling.
He won't leave me alone. Every time he sees me, he starts coming on to me.
I warned him about that. If he does it again, just let me know.
Oh, he will. He thinks if he sweet talks me, I'll sing one of his songs.
Sing one of his songs? That's a joke. The guy's a real no-talent hack.
That's for sure. Hey, you think if he had any talent, he'd write a lyric like, I brought you a balloon on our honeymoon and you busted it like my heart.
Oh, man, I can't believe it. This guy is a jerk.
Well, I know that, and you know that. So why do you think Ruby's working so hard for him?
Beats me.
It doesn't figure, Ricky. Unless he's got something on her, or maybe he's fooling around with her.
You better not be. I warned him about that, too.
Well, it doesn't seem to be doing too much good.
Yeah, I know. She's trying to get him on the Phil Roberts show. I told her one singer on the show like that is enough.
And what did she say?
Well, she says that the Phil Roberts show is dying and that she's going to get me a show of my own, and she's going to try and put me on Billy Joe's show if he gets it.
Oh, that's what she says. But what has she really done for you lately?
Oh, Ruby's okay. She's been out there working.
Oh, she's not working hard enough for you, Ricky. She's not breaking her back for you, and you're the one with the talent. She sure is eager to sell Bo. Now, why do you think that is?
Elliot, I have something very important to tell you.
Why the mystery? Why couldn't you tell me on the phone?
No, this is too important to talk about on the telephone. Now, I know that you and I haven't always seen eye to eye on things.
That's true.
But I'm sure you'll see eye to eye with me on this.
What, Iris?
You know I've always admired your work as a journalist. And when I gave that party for you to honor your prize-winning documentary, well, I made a shambles of it, and I want to make amends.
Iris, what on earth are you talking about?
A scoop. Isn't that what you journalists are always looking for?
Well, yes, but...
Well, I have a scoop for you. An exclusive.
Iris, stop being so mysterious. What are you talking about?
Me.
You?
Yes.
What
me.
about you?
I'm leaving Houston.
You've already told me that you're leaving.
Oh, I know, but I haven't told you where I'm going or what I plan to do.
Well, I would be interested to know.
I'm moving to New York.
Why? You've always hated New York.
Yes, that's true, but that's where I'm going anyway, because all the big foundations are there.
Foundations?
Yes, the Rockefeller Foundation, all of them have their headquarters in New York.
You're moving to New York to set up a foundation?
Precisely. The Alex Wheeler Foundation. I'm going to use my fortune to help the unfortunate people of the world.
Iris, I think that's wonderful.
It is important, isn't it? I'll have a chance to really help. That's very important to me.
Iris, I'm really delighted.
Now, I'm counting on you to give this story the prominence it deserves. I want people to know what I'm doing.
You've done great charitable work here in Houston, but this is so much bigger. Thank you for choosing me to tell your story.
I've heard a lot of people here. It saddens me to know that my leaving will make certain people happy. But I feel there's a purpose to my life now. By helping others, I hope to make amends for all the trouble I've caused here.
I'm proud of you, Iris.
Thank you, Elliot. Your good opinion means a lot to me.
The Alex Wheeler Foundation. I think that sounds great.
Thank you. This story won't win you any awards.
Well, it is an important story. Good for you, Iris.
Ruby, I've had it up to here with you and Bo. I don't want you managing him.
Bo's my client, and he's gonna stay my client. It's none of your business who I manage.
It's my business when it interferes with my career.
How is my managing Bo interfering with your career?
You're trying to get him on the Phil Roberts show, and don't start giving me that business about us being different type singers.
Look, Ricky, I'm just giving Bo the push he needs to get started.
What do you see in this guy?
Talent. He's a good songwriter.
Come on, Ruby, have you seen this material of his? Bo doesn't deserve the work you're doing for him. Now, why are you wasting your time on him?
I told you before, because he's talented.
He's got no talent, Ruby. Are you hung up on him? Or does he have something on you? It's got to be one or the other, Ruby, because the man has no talent.
You're wrong.
Well, I'll tell you this, that helicopter ride was sure a test of my love for Steve. I can't think of anything else that could have gotten me up one of those contraptions.
It scared you a little bit, huh?
Half to death.
I'm sorry, Kate, for your having to endure that, but I couldn't get out of the office this morning, and I thought the helicopter ride was the easiest solution.
I'll recover. Well, are we going to be able to do anything about the mineral rights?
I hope so.
You know, I hate the thought of drilling on the ranch, even though you're not going to be doing it for 5 years. But I've lived long enough to know you can't hold back the future forever. And at least it'll give me 5 years for security to give Steve a stable start on the ranch.
We all want that, Kate.
Oh, look at that city. I can remember when it was a frontier town. All fresh air and lots of room. No tall buildings and crowds of people. What oil's changed all that?
Well, Houston's quite a city.
I don't like cities. And I don't like oil. The drilling and all that goes with it. What's out there isn't for Steve. You know, Steve needs that 5 years to put his roots down, to feel the land, to be able to understand what made his people ranchers.
You'll have your 5 years, Kate. I promise you that.
And you'll have your mineral rights. I promise that. I don't expect charity.
Well, we're getting value for our money.
What the price Justin's asking for the ranch is highway robbery. You know it isn't anywhere near half what he's demanding for it.
But the mineral rights make it worth $5 million.
You know, I just can't make my peace with seeing Justin get ahead on this. He's my grandson, but he's a snake doing the devil's work. Well, I guess there are times when we have to deal with the devil, and this happens to be one of them.
Grant and I aren't happy about Justin either, but it can't be helped right now.
How well I know that.
Kate, I also promise you that we'll respect the environment out at the ranch when the time comes.
I hope you mean that.
I do.
I feel the same way.
You're both fine men.
Well then, if we're all agreed, I've got a lot of work to do. It's going to take a long time to put that financial package together. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Yes, this lovely dress was designed by Mademoiselle Geneviève, and it's exclusive here at page 1. Isn't it lovely? Would you like to try this on? My assistant Nita's in the back. I'll be with you in a minute. Please, Iris, I don't need a scene right now.
A scene? Oh, Paige, please. A scene is the last thing I have in mind.
Oh, really?
I just stopped by to see how your shop is doing.
Business couldn't be better, as you can see.
That's nice. You did manage quite a spectacular affair with your opening. All those celebrities and such a lot of press coverage.
No thanks to you.
Dennis and Elliot thought of everything. You owe your success to them.
Of course, they've been wonderful.
Your little victory was embarrassing for me, but I've recovered.
Just what is it you want, Iris?
I'm not here to harm you.
You've done everything you could to drive me out of Houston. I doubt that you're here to wish me well.
I promise you'll never have reason to be gun shy of me again. If you want this shop to be a success, then that's what I want too.
What is all of this about, Iris?
What's past is past. Let's let the past bury itself. Neither of us have time for it anymore.
Oh, you're up to something. I can feel it in my bones.
Your bones are accurate. I am up to something. But it's nothing that will harm you, Paige. I promise you that.
I wish I could believe you.
Believe me, it's the truth.
Oh, come on, Ruby. We're not all deaf and blind. Now, I know what you and Bo were trying to do to Billy Joe, and just because you talked yourself around it, that doesn't mean I'm giving up.
Giving up what?
I'm keeping an eye on you. And I'm gonna nail you.
You know, I have a suggestion for you, Elena. Instead of messing with my life, why don't you try to clean up your own?
My life is fine.
Oh, yeah, you're in great shape. You've been kidnapped twice. You've been involved in 2 murders and a drug ring. You've got a career that's been shot down in flames. And now you got a boyfriend who's lying in the hospital and facing a prison sentence from 20 years to life. You're doing real well.
Joe is innocent. And at least I have somebody who loves me.
Wonderful.
And I'll tell you something else. There's nothing you can do to stop me from getting at you, Ruby, because I know your weak spot.
What's that?
Bo. See, he's been coming on pretty strong lately. In fact, I think he's got a little thing for me.
Really?
Really. And you know what happens when a man lets his guard down, don't you? All kinds of little secrets slip out.
You can go fishing for secrets in Bo all you want, Elena. He's nothing to me. Nothing but talent that I represent. That's it. Period.
I've come to wish you well and tell you something you'll find of interest.
I'm listening.
I'm leaving Houston for New York.
You are? What are you planning on doing in New York?
I'm going to create the Alex Wheeler Foundation.
I don't think I quite understand, Iris.
I'm putting my fortune to work for the betterment of others. I know you think of me as a selfish woman, but what I plan to do will be quite selfless.
You're really leaving Houston?
Of course. What more can I do here?
Oh, you've done quite enough. Thank you very much.
No one has done more for charitable causes than I. But now, through the foundation, I'll be able to do so much more.
You really believe what you're saying, don't you?
Oh, indeed I do. So, let's let bygones be bygones.
Well, I'm certainly willing.
Good. I'm sure you're going to make an excellent shopkeeper.
Thank you.
I think it's time to call an end to our feud. It saps both of us of energy we should put to positive use. You have your dress shop. I have my foundation. Good luck to both of us. Goodbye, Paige. You'll be hearing about me.
Listen, why don't we just get together tomorrow and we'll look over the papers? Uh-huh. Yeah. About that, the long-term oil lease in Oklahoma. I think that's going to work out very well for both of us, right? Yeah. Yes. Yeah, you'll get rich now, but I'll get richer later. Yeah. That's right. Well, you're right about that. Yeah, I'm about to become a daddy. Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, you know, every man should have a son, don't you think? Yeah, I think Justin Marshall Jr. is going to be a chip off the old block, don't you? Yes. Well, if my son is anywhere near the man yours is, I'll be in Clover, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think Justin Marshall will set Texas on fire, right? Listen, I'll see you at about 2 o'clock tomorrow, and we'll look over these papers. Right. Bye-bye.
Remind me to call Mr. Greeley in New York. His secretary said he would be in his office in about an hour. Ma'am. I always have such a problem with long-distance phone calls. It's that silly time difference.
Is that Jimmy Greeley, the real estate man you're talking about?
Yes, do you know him?
I sure do. My bank helped finance some of his projects.
Well, I'll mention your name then. How are things going for you at World Oil?
Very nicely. It's a change. I'm getting the hang of the business. It's a challenge.
I'm delighted. I think people should change their lives around every now and then. A challenge can do wonders to refresh your whole outlook on life. Don't you agree?
I do. Incidentally, I wanted to tell you about something that Kate Marshall initiated with Ryan.
Really? What's that?
Well, it's a rather sizable investment, considering the fact that there's no immediate return on it. But I think
You
that
know,
it's
Mr.
possible
Greeley owns some marvelous property in New York. He has one building in particular right across from the UN, and I think it will be a perfect headquarters for the foundation. Oh, Grant, I'm so excited about all this. When Alex was alive, it was different. I had a home to maintain. But now what better thing can I do than dedicate myself to helping others?
Why, that's wonderful, Iris. What about your position with World Oil, if you really are serious about leaving Houston?
Oh, I assure you, I am serious. And as for my position at World Oil, I don't really want one anymore.
Iris, you're talking about 1/3 ownership.
Yes, I know. I've discussed it with Dennis. We want to sell our shares.
Now you're talking about the controlling interest.
I'm aware of that. But neither Dennis nor I want to have an active interest in the affairs of the company. We both feel our time and money can be put to better use elsewhere.
Are you serious?
Very. I'd like you to make the arrangements for the sale of the shares. Would you do that for us?
Sure. As a matter of fact, if you're willing, I'd like to buy the 2/3 ownership in World Oil.
Grant, are you sure? Are you ready to commit yourself to Houston and the oil business on a full-time basis?
Well, I think so. My life in Boston is over. I like the oil business. As a matter of fact, it's a lot more stimulating to me now than banking. Is it a deal?
Oh, I'm delighted. And I know Dennis will be, too. You're Alex's brother. World Oil will stay in the family. I like that. I can't think of anyone more capable than you to run the company. This is marvelous, Grant.
Oh, I agree. This way, I'll be able to get my family around me here in Houston.
And I'll have so much more money. Money that can make the foundation a real force in the world for the needy.
All right. We'll work out the details later. Right now, I'm going to have to do some work getting this financial picture together.
Oh, a wily banker like you, it should be a piece of cake.
Rather large piece of cake.
You're wonderful, Grant. Thank you.
I can't believe it. Iris is really leaving Houston.
I know. She really impressed me. What she's going to do is terrific.
Some coffee?
Mm.
You know, this is self-centered of me, Elliot, but the most terrific part for me is the fact that she's leaving.
Well, she's proving she's a bigger woman than many of us thought.
She's very gracious when she came by. You know, she didn't have to do that.
I know. The foundation is going to give a center to Iris's life, and that's good.
She's so wrapped up in that idea.
Well, she's an amazing woman. She can do almost anything once she sets her mind to it. I have no doubt that she'll make a success of the foundation.
Elliot, I am so happy. I know it's a selfish reason, but Iris nearly wrecked my life. And now everything's going to be all right because she's not going to be here any longer.
I can't blame you for feeling that way.
I can't get over how nice she was. I'll never forget what she said. She said that it was time to end our feud. That it drained us of energy that we should be using in a positive way. And that I had my boutique and she had her foundation, and good luck to both of us. Now we can go on with our lives. We don't need to feel guilty anymore.
I know.
We can be together now.
It is as if a load had been lifted, isn't it?
Oh, aren't you sweet? Thank you, honey.
I want to ask you a question, and I want a straight answer. Have you been messing around with Elena Decker?
Well, it depends on what you mean by messing around. You know, I've been talking to her, and I did give her one of my songs that I thought you ought to sing.
That's it?
Sure. What you driving at, Pumpkin?
I got the feeling you've been coming on to her, Bo, and I don't like it.
Now, why would I come on to Elena Decker?
Because she's a woman. Because she's a singer with a national reputation who just might be able to help you out. And because that's the kind of snake you are. I know you.
Yeah, I guess maybe you do.
Well, forget it. She's dangerous. Don't forget that she saw you plant those pills on Phil Roberts' bone. And she has a grudge against me from way back, so just leave her alone.
Hold on a minute there, little lady. Are you trying to tell me who I can and cannot see?
I'm just giving you some advice, Bo.
Save a little of that advice for yourself. Just remember, I know a few things about you that you just as soon not get spread around.
Are you trying to threaten me?
I'm not trying. I am. And just remember, as long as you're living with Ricky Decker, you got no call to tell me what woman I can get close to.
You're heading for trouble, Bo.
Well, I can handle it. And you got nothing to worry about, Pumpkin, as long as you remember one thing. You owe me. And if you're smart, you do exactly as I say.
Oh, Vivian, it's marvelous. Mr. Greeley said I called at exactly the right moment. He's going to give me an option on the entire building.
Well, I don't see why you can't set up your headquarters in the World Oil Building.
Because the World Oil Building isn't in New York, and it's not right across the street from the United Nations.
What difference does that make?
Vivi, it makes an enormous difference. All the big foundations are in New York.
You could do it in Houston.
Vivian, I am moving to New York, and that is that.
Are you sure you've got enough money to help the way you want?
Oh, of course. And now that Grant has agreed to buy my share of World Oil, I'll have even more.
How much money do you have?
Oh, for heaven's sake, Vivi, how should I know?
Well, I think it's important to know how much money you have if you're going to put it all into this foundation.
Vivian, I am very wealthy.
How wealthy?
Darling, if you have to count your money, you're not really wealthy. The important thing is I have made my decision.
Well, you're going to help the world. Who's going to help me?
What are you talking about?
You're moving to New York. What's going to happen to me?
You're coming with me.
Oh, no, I'm not. I've heard all about New York, and I'm not going to live there.
Vivi, New York is a perfectly wonderful place.
Not for me. It's too big. I'm a country girl. I'm not living any place I can't look out the window and see a tree.
Well, what do you want to do?
I want to stay right here, and I want you to stay here, too.
I'm sorry, Vivi.
So what's going to happen to me?
I'll think of something. I always do. Trust me. I love you, Vivi. I'll see that you're taken care of. I have to call Elliot and tell him about Mr. Greeley's building. Elliot's writing a story on me so everyone will know about the foundation. Don't worry, Vivi. I'm not forgetting about you. I'll think of something. I promise.
Yes. Sure. All right, Mr. Rollins, I'll have my secretary set up an appointment with your secretary for an appointment next week, all right? Fine. Thank you. Bye. Bye. Well, Mr. Connor, why don't you just walk right in the office?
Well, I looked for your secretary, but I couldn't find her.
Oh.
So, this is the future home of Marshall Oil, huh?
Well, it doesn't look like much right now, but wait till you see it in a few weeks.
Well, it's quite a convenient location. Right across the street from the World Oil building.
I always thought that competitors should stick close to one another. It makes things more interesting, don't you think?
There's an awful lot of space, isn't it, for a company that's just starting out?
Well, all I've got is a floor through right now, but I'm going to need the whole building, so... Yeah. One of these days, you're going to be looking out of your office window, and you're going to see a big sign on top of this building. It's going to say, Marshall Oil. Well, that is, if you still have an office window to look out of. By the time I'm through, World Oil will be nothing but, a couple of filing cabinets stored away in some warehouse somewhere.
Oh, I don't think World Oil is going to go under. But I'm not working for the company any longer.
You own a third of it?
That's right, but I'm working out of Stryker's office now.
You know, it's funny, Ryan. Both of us, former presidents of World Oil, both of us voted out of office.
Yeah, and if you hadn't gotten Iris on your side, I'd still be president. After all, it was her gullibility that let you work out that lousy frame-up you did on me, right?
Oh, no, you can't blame that on me. She did me in just like she did you in.
That's right, so I guess that just proves that Iris isn't wrong all the time, now is she?
What do you want, Ryan?
You got the deal.
What deal?
$5 million from Kate.
What do you have to do with this?
World Oil is buying the ranch's mineral rights from Kate for $5 million.
Is that so? So in reality, I'm getting that $5 million from World Oil. I like that.
$5 million for the ranch is highway robbery.
Business is business.
It's extortion.
I'm getting $5 million from you guys over at World Oil. Even though Grandma's handing me the check. I really like that.
You owe me. And you will do exactly as I say. Is that clear? Good. You know, sometimes I don't think you're a very bright girl, Ruby. I mean, otherwise, why would you get off on your high horse and go around trying to order me around? You toe the mark from now on, you hear?
Okay. I'll toe the mark. Just stay away from Elena, Bo, for both of us.
You never quit now, did you?
Hi, honey.
Hi, Ruby. Bo, I want to talk to you.
Okay.
Stay away from my sister.
Well, you gotta be kidding. I thought they only came up with lines like that in the movies.
I mean it, Bo.
Look, Mr. Decker, this is a free country. All I'm trying to do is get Elena to sing one of my songs.
Elena's not going to sing one of your songs. Nobody's going to sing any of your songs. You write junk.
Well, I'll tell you, Phil, everybody's entitled to his own opinion.
You want my opinion? I think you're a no-talent, girl-chasing bum, and I want you to stay away from my sister, and that includes Ruby, too.
But I'll tell you what. Why don't we just leave that up to the little ladies?
I don't want that creep hanging around you anymore, Ruby.
Bo's my client, Ricky. I'm managing.
Well, unmanage him. You got a choice, Ruby. Either he goes or I go.
Grandma would never sell those mineral rights to me. Now she goes and sells them to World Oil.
Well, you can't win them all. But you did get your $5 million.
Well, that's what makes Grandma selling the mineral rights to you palatable.
I just don't understand you, Justin. How could you do something like this to your grandmother?
Grandma wants the ranch. She's got to pay.
She did this for Steve. The doctor says that Steve has to stay on the ranch.
Yeah, I heard about that.
You don't even care about Steve, do you?
Of course I do. He's my nephew. I love him.
To the tune of $5 million.
Look, Ryan, I've heard enough sermons from you. I've had enough hellfire and brimstone from Grandma.
Yeah, well, I think it's a little low extorting money from your own grandmother. I hope you choke on it.
I'm taking $5 million out of World Oil's hide. It suits me just fine.
Please have a seat.
Thank you.
Oh. Here we are.
Thank you. It was very good of you to see me without an appointment.
Oh, that's quite all right. You see, we always try to keep an open door when the matter seems urgent. Now, what seems to be the trouble? I gather it's something you feel very anxious about.
Well, it's, yes, it is, Doctor. You see, I'm very uncomfortable talking about this.
There's no need to worry. Everything that you say in this room will be held in the strictest of confidence.
Yes, I know that, but this is really very terrible.
Just take your time.
You see, Doctor, I hope you don't think I'm being silly, but well, see, I'm accustomed to an older doctor, and you really are very close to my own age.
Well, I look a lot younger than I really am. Why did you come to see me instead of going to your own physician?
Because you were highly recommended.
Really, by whom?
Oh, Doctor!
Come, Mrs. Decker, there's no need for that. There's no need to be upset. Wait. Here we are.
Oh, thank you. I feel so foolish.
No.
Oh, dear. Oh, I'm so embarrassed.
Don't be.
Oh, I'm
Feel
sorry.
better? Feel better?
Ah, yes.
Go.
Thank
Keep
you.
it. Keep
Thank you.
it. Why don't we just try to approach this whole thing very calmly, all right? Now, I know that you came to see me because you felt that you were facing an emergency. Now, why can't we just find out what this emergency is? Mrs. Decker, you are going to have to say something, or else I can't even begin to help you.
Well, you see, Doctor, I think I have the same problem that this friend of mine has.
Right. Well, is this the same friend who recommended me to you?
No. No, not exactly. You,
Try,
you
Mrs. Decker, just try.
You see, Doctor, I am a married woman, and my husband has been out of town a lot lately.
I see.
In fact, you see, my husband was out of town for 2 months. He was out of the country.
Go on.
I'm having an affair, Doctor. And I'm pregnant. 2 months pregnant. It happened while my husband was out of the country.
Yeah, well, Mrs. Decker, I don't understand why you've come to me.
I came to you because you're a doctor.
Well, what is it exactly you want me to do?
Doctor, I think that that's pretty obvious.
Oh, Mrs. Decker, there's been a major misunderstanding.
I came here because
I know why you came here, but you shouldn't be here.
Why not?
Now, if you are pregnant, as you say you are, I'm not the doctor you need. Mrs. Decker, my specialty is infertility.
What?
My specialty is infertility. Women come to me when they can't get pregnant.
Oh, I see.
Yes. See, I treat women like you, well, not like you, who come to me when they have problems conceiving.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Doctor.
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Texas.